Boo or something? Welcome to my spooky Halloween special, just in time to celebrate 666 subscribers. Coincidence? I think not. So grab your lanterns and your garlic bulbs, because we are going to create a classy witch outfit. And this is the outfit we are going to design today. And I wondered if I should do a classic Baroque vampire attire, but I guess that wouldn't fit with my name, so I decided for a timeless cultured witch dress instead. And look, there's even a cute little garlic pendant here. Just to clarify how I got this image, I started with the basic nude A pose of my model that I can't show here, and then put in a few brush strokes over it in GIMP and let the AI in-paint the dress. And this is the result. So let's start by cutting out the individual parts to prepare for the wigging process. And we will start by splitting up the dress into 3 main parts that we then subdivide into front and back layers individually. I usually go through the parts from front to back, so I started with the chest piece, and if you wonder why I also selected part of the breasts here, then this is because if I just layer the clothing on top of the model, it wouldn't look natural because the skin has no visible dent in where it connects to the clothing. So let's copy it to another layer, and now we can clean it up and redraw the outline with the eraser brush and path tool. And this is the result. And I also cleaned up the frills a bit to make them easier to rig and remove some unwanted AI artifacts. And I now think that this part is good to go, so we can continue with the next part. The next part will be the body underneath the chest area. And this is where we will fully make use of the fact that we do not hate AI tools for no reason and just quickly sketch the part of the body with a rough sketch and feed it into Stable Diffusion to give us a nice and clean back layer. So here we are in Forge UI and my freshly made sketch of the, let's call her Petankovic, which is actually what we are going to prompt. So let's get rid of our culture tag here and replace it with an equally cultured tag to generate a nice and clean flat dress. We can also seize this opportunity to create the right hand sleeve in full, because the chest area was previously blocking vision to that in our reference image. So we catch 2 birds with 1 stone here. And after in-painting the areas and fixing a couple of minor errors, this is the result. And if we show the chest layer on top of it, we can already see how well it blends together. I painted the back layer a bit higher than I needed to in this place here. We can fix this in the next step, because we need to separate the skin parts from the clothing anyway. But before we can do that, we need to move the bows here to another layer. So let's copy that over, and then we draw the part of the dress behind. And this time I will not regenerate the art in Stable Diffusion because it's such a tiny part that I'm faster drawing it myself. Honestly, artists shouldn't fear AI art taking their jobs. What they should fear is handicapping themselves, clinch into an elitist mindset imposed by some people who prefer shouting the loudest into the void of the internet instead of doing what they love. I mean, is it ever wrong to learn a new skill? Don't succumb to the fallacy of thinking you are above learning AI tools. Because, best case scenario, it will make the parts of your job easier that you don't like, leaving you with more time and energy to do the parts you do like. And honestly, in the worst case scenario, you still benefit greatly from knowing what separates your craft from AI. And despite all the innovations, let me tell you, there are still tons of things that artists will always be better at than any neural network that can run on a consumer PC. And the same is true for myself, honestly. Despite using AI a lot in what I do, I still watch the occasional video by professional artists learning how to draw. And I don't even aspire to ever become an anime artist. Of course not. I have enough in my hands of animation and programming, but it's still a skill that comes in handy ever so often, so it's nice to know the basics. I used to get a few comments on every video like, "Ew, you use AI art," as if that somehow invalidates the effort I put into my projects. So don't be that guy. Okay, tangent over. We're almost done with separating the bows from the rest of the dress, so let's skip over to the next part. As much as I like editing this part of the image, it's time to get rid of those juicy thighs now. So I selected the inside part of the dress and now we can separate it into another layer. And after doing the same for the right leg cutout, we combine the layers and can start redrawing and cleaning it up. As usual, I start from the front layer. So let's remove the parts we no longer need, and now we can fix the hemline? Is that what it's called? Saum. Ah, almost forgot. There are also body parts here that we need to cut out. Last but not least, we need to remove the upper body parts as well. And while we're at it, we can also clean up the collar and fix the overlapping issue of the chest part. Oh, this part here. God, I hate drawing frills so much. I think I could have gotten away not having the inside part of the sleeve visible, but well, it's done now, so whatever. So the only thing left to do now is removing the legs and extending the inside part of the dress, backside a bit to the sides, and then we're done here. And with the outline, we finished the separation process and can start setting up the spreadsheet. And we're finished. So let's turn the other layers back on, and yeah, time for a little happy dance. So let's duplicate the layers and move them around in a way that leaves enough room for a potential head texture too. On second thought, the backside of the dress has no reason to be this high resolution, so let's rescale it a little smaller to make more room on the sheet. And this is the final result of our spreadsheet. Actually, let's put the frills of the chest area on a separate layer too, because this will make animating the jiggle of the frills a lot easier. And if you know me, then you know that there is nothing more important than high quality jiggle. Okay, we're done. And this time for real. So, we made it to the end of the first part. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will tune back in for the second part, where we will do the rigging and add a cute witch hat. So, toodles!